police stations and have not yet been charged. Now, separately, another 3 Iranian men were arrested yesterday in London, all on suspicion of a national security offence, but in an unrelated investigation. Now, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper has praised police and security services and said these are serious events that demonstrate the ongoing requirement to adapt our response to national security threats. The government continues to work with police and intelligence agencies to support all the action and security assessments needed to keep the country safe. Now, searches are underway at addresses in London, Greater Manchester and in Swindon.
So crazy stuff, crazy stuff.
We're going to cross now to our world presenter, Yalda Hakim, who's been covering this.
Okay. Now let's get into here. Now, other breaking news. Okay. Netanyahu warns of intensive escalation in Gaza campaign. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the new plan calls for forceful entry in the territory and would involve Palestinians relocating to the south. All right, let's play this from the beginning. So protesters gathered outside Israel's parliament after the government approved a plan to intensify its campaign in Gaza. And as you guys know, they're pissed off because it's like, bro, get the fucking hostages back. Like I told you guys before, they don't care about getting the hostages back. They care about, Netanyahu only cares about getting rid of Hamas and fighting a war and destabilizing Iran. That's what he wants.
There's no reason
posed as American spies to recruit members of the terrorist organization Jundullah to fight their covert war against Iran. The Mossad agents carried U.S. passports, presented themselves as American operatives, and provided cash, weapons, and intelligence to a foreign designated terror group known as Jundullah to carry out attacks against Iran. Now, for a supposed ally, this is treasonous behavior. But before we continue, let's take a moment to quickly understand who Jundullah is. To do that, we need to learn about the Balochistan insurgency. And to do that, we need to learn about the Baloch people. I know, it's like Inception, but to truly grasp what's going on here, we need to appreciate all the little details. The Baloch people are a distinct ethnic group with their own culture and language.
Think of them as like kind of like the Kurds, guys. Okay, they're not Kurds, of course, but they're also like kind of a diaspora people.
There are about 15 million worldwide. The majority reside in the Balochistan region of Southwest Asia, which spans 3 modern countries: Iran, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Of the 15 million Baloch, 8 million live in Pakistan, 4 million in Iran, and 1 million in Afghanistan. As a minority group in these nations, there are some Baloch who desire independence. And among them, there are those who believe that armed insurgency is the path to independence. The insurgency in Balochistan, therefore, is...
Also, guys, do me a solid. Like video. We got 1945. Let's get to 3,000. We got 25K views right now. We're going to be doing a longer stream today, guys. So you guys are going to be getting the sauce. Like I said, today's going to be an action-packed day. A lot of content for you guys. So all I ask, guys, in exchange, either sub to the channel on Fresh to Fit. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video. And show some love there, man. That's really all I ask.
Is an ongoing revolt by Baloch separatists and various Islamist militant groups against the governments of Pakistan and Iran. Jundullah was one such group. They were a relatively small group with only a few thousand fighters, made up primarily of anti-Shia Salafi jihadists. In 2010, the U.S. State Department designated Jundullah as a foreign terrorist organization due to its numerous attacks on Irani civilians. According to the...
And just so you guys know, the Department of State is the agency that designates foreign countries, okay, as terrorist organizations. Now, I don't want to put on my conspiracy hat too much, but Hamas was designated as a terrorist organization in 1997. Who designated Hamas as a terrorist organization?
What? how do these people have so much power? Like they can't call it a conspiracy theory no more. Like y'all clearly up to something. Y'all clearly are genociders. Y'all are clearly think y'all, you know, are the chosen people when really y'all just a bunch of weak motherfuckers.
Every single time, chat. Every single time. Anyway,
People be scared to speak on what do you call them? Jewish people like because they can kind of like control whatever the case may be, bro. Money ain't really that important. At the end of the day, man, speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? Call it how it is. Like if you motherfuckers commit genocide and wiping people out and trying to, no, I seen y'all Bible, man. Y'all Bible is just ridiculous, man. Like y'all literally kind of like don't like nobody.
let's keep going.
State Department, Jundullah uses a variety of terrorist tactics, including suicide bombings, ambushes, kidnappings, and targeted assassinations. Notably, in October 2009, a Jundullah bombing killed more than 40 people and was the deadliest terrorist attack in Iran at the time since the 1980s. All of these attacks were significant, but the October 2009 suicide bombing was especially dangerous for US-Irani relations. Not only did it kill civilians, but it also claimed the lives of 5 high-ranking officers from Iran's revolutionary.
And like I can't understand you Jewish people either because it's funny to me how y'all think y'all can just take over the whole planet and not have nobody else around, commit genocide on everybody and wipe everybody out, and y'all think y'all gonna survive on this planet being the only people alive. Like, no, you need other people. Like, you can't do it all by yourself. I don't give a fuck how much technology that y'all got or whatever the case may be. Y'all think y'all special and God gonna come down. Like, no, God don't even like y'all.
War. At the time, Iran was furious, blaming the United States, Britain, and Pakistan for supporting the group. While all three denied the allegations, Iran insisted that Jundullah had foreign backing. But what Iran didn't know was that the foreign backers of Jundullah were actually Israeli. This information came from the former leader of Jundullah, Abdul Malik Rigi, who was captured by Iran shortly after the October 2009 attacks. In an interview aired by Irani Press TV, Rigi explained that Jundullah had met with a mysterious group in Casablanca who claimed to represent NATO. Rigi said that the group's true identity became suspicious to him as he reflected on the nature of their meetings.
So, you guys are going to see who these individuals really were. But look at that. Potential funding a terrorist attack against an enemy that could drag us into a fucking war. And not only did we get blamed, the Brits and the Pakistanis got blamed as well. Sparks 8450, give this up. Shout out to you, my friend. And just so you guys know, if you're watching on Rumble, type in I'm a brokey if you're watching this and you have ads, and you'll go ahead and you'll get a sub more than likely. Shout out to you guys. Claim those subs. The way Rumble works is everyone that types in the chat, that types in, gets to take the sub that claims it, or well, that types in the chat. Shout out to you, Sparks 84 for 50 give the subs, bro. Love you, man. Thank you so much for that, bro. Really appreciate that. Let's keep cooking. So even the main terrorist guy was suspicious of these people that gave them money.
For example, he wondered why they hadn't just met in Afghanistan, where NATO already had a base and a much more secure line of communication with Jundullah. The other issue was the nature of the targets of the group suggested. They insisted that we transfer our operations from the eastern border region to the capital. We thought this was very strange. After thinking about it, we concluded that they were either Americans acting under NATO cover or Israelis. According to Rigi, the agents provided a list of names.
And it's funny how you Israelis, motherfuckers, whatever you want to call yourself, small hats. Really, you ain't nothing but a bunch of fake ass, I don't know what type of people who assume, no, who made up some stupid shit about, oh, we got what do they call it, Hitler, and he killed 6 million people, and we would never let that happen to us again. But really, no. Y'all are really the mass murderers trying to cover shit up to make it seem like y'all are the good people. But y'all really are the evil motherfuckers.
Dresses and photos of people to assassinate in Tehran, along with
And I don't give a damn who see this or like you Jewish motherfuckers can't stop me because what you gonna do? Kill me? That's really all you can do. Other than that, you really can't do a damn thing to me because I don't run in y'all friend groups or I definitely don't want y'all money because you can't pay me or buy me off for none of that shit. Bunch of evil ass wicked motherfuckers that nobody don't want to talk about. This whole time we thought it was certain type of people, but really it was you motherfuckers behind the curtains doing all this evil shit.
equipment and explosives for these operations. They also promised very high sums of money for the overall project, as well as specific amounts for each assassination. When the interview first aired, many dismissed Riggy's claims, suggesting that he was merely under duress. However, the leaked CIA memos from the Bush era that Mark Perry reported on in 2012 confirmed that Mossad agents were actually impersonating CIA operatives and meeting.
Bro, do you guys now see how bad that is? We got Mossad posing to be Americans funding a foreign terrorist organization to attack one of our adversaries. Holy shit. Holy shit.
With Jundullah. Okay, now let's take a moment to digest this information. Israeli Mossad agents were impersonating American intelligence operatives, meeting with a foreign designated terror organization to arm, fund, and train separatists so they could carry out destabilizing terror attacks on civilian populations and high-ranking officers, risking a potential escalation between either the US and Iran or the US, Pakistan, and Iran. This is treacherous, dangerous, reckless behavior by a supposed ally. Israel was essentially hoping that these false flags would be blamed on either the US or Pakistan or both, which...
And just so you guys know, alright, look at this. The Mossad motto, okay, goes, the Mossad Hebrew Institute has two notable mottos, both of which are biblical quotes. The first motto is from Proverbs 24:6. By way of deception, you shall make war. Falcon punch! I mean, how much more fucking clear does it need to be, man?
Somebody alive. Yeah, bro.
Like, holy shit, bro. And as you guys know, if you don't know already, the Mossad is basically Israel's CIA equivalent. So, by deception, we create war. Incredible, bro. Fucking incredible.
Could have instigated a war between them and Iran. Now let's briefly explore how destructive such a war would be. It would obviously devastate the lives of millions of people in Iran, Pakistan, and the Middle East, including the American...
Straight evil, bro. Oh, 6 million Jews got killed. But really, y'all want to go around the world and kill most people as you can. And I think that though Jewish 6 million people shit was fake.
Troops based in the region. This would be catastrophic enough. However, this would also affect the entire planet. Here's how.
To the world economy's most vulnerable choke point, a sea lane through which 1/5 or more of all the oil and natural gas has to pass to reach global markets.
Iran has made clear that in the event of such a war, they would close the Strait of Hormuz, a vital choke point where 20 million barrels of oil travels through on a daily basis. This would cut off 30% of global oil trade. If this oil was delayed, even for just a single day, it would send oil prices soaring. But what if it were delayed for 30 days? If worse came to worse and the Strait of Hormuz was closed for a month or more, then crude would likely spike to $350 a barrel. The world economy would crater. This price per barrel would send gas price.
And I think that's what they want. Like, in all honesty, they want the world system to crash. They just ain't had the opportunity to get it. They just had the opportunity for it to happen yet. But these motherfuckers want destabilization of the whole planet. They want control over the whole world. And the funny part about it is that America is letting them get away with this shit, and other people across the world. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it alone.
This is to $11 per gallon, and and produce long lines at the gas station, and that's if your gas station would even have gas. And it's important to remember, oil and gas isn't just for your car to get from point A to point B. It's how planes fly. Power stations give electricity, crops are extracted, food is produced, goods are moved by land and sea, and the list goes on and on. Everything would become at least 5 times more expensive at a time when people can barely make ends meet. And this is just if oil were to be temporarily delayed. Just imagine if it were delayed for a prolonged period of time. Iran has made clear that a war between them and the US would force them to use their massive supply of suicide drones and ballistic missiles to target and destroy the oil and gas infrastructure of the Arabian Peninsula. Let's think about how catastrophic this would be. In 2019, the Houthis, the Yemeni group supported by Iran, attacked Abqaiq and Khurais oil plants. This one attack, using cheap drones, caused fires that forced the plant to close down for repairs. It took 2 whole days of round-the-clock firefighting to put them out. This small attack cut Saudi's daily oil production in half, amounting to a 5% hit on the global oil supply. And this was from an attack on just 2 oil facilities. There are at least 20 sites that Iran would strike, using far more destructive missiles that would take months, if not years, to repair. This would plummet the global oil supply and wreck the economy, which would produce economic, environmental, and socio-political upheavals. It would be complete chaos. And this is what Israel was trying to instigate when their Mossad agents pretended to be American intelligence officers funding, arming, and training Jundullah to attack Irani civilians and officials in Tehran in a false flag that could be blamed on the US. And to quote an intelligence official from Mark Perry's foreign policy expose in 2012,
And just so you guys know, this is what Israel does all the time. They always do false flags. Now you guys see the serious implications as to what Israel's intelligence operations do. They don't give a fuck about anybody except for themselves. And they will do whatever they need to do to ensure that the state of Israel exists. Even if it minds stabbing us in the back and getting us involved,
chaos. And
getting us involved in a global conflict that would absolutely destroy all these different countries' economies. That's how little Israel gives a fuck about anybody else, just so you guys know. Absolutely ridiculous that we give these guys all the fucking aid that we give them when they do bullshit like this. And just so you guys know, a little bit more history for you guys, because this is what they do. They don't just do false, this isn't like their first time doing a false flag chat, okay? Look at this. Here you go, Lafon Affair, okay? Was a failed Israeli covert operation codenamed Operation Susanna, conducted in Egypt in the summer of 1954 as part of the false flag operation. A group of Egyptian Jews, like I told you guys before, there are Arab Jews, Mizrahi Jews, shout to Storm Grapin, gifted 5 subs on Myron Gaines X. Guys, if you guys want to give subs, thank you so much, Grapin.
And they everywhere. They in everybody's economy. They in everybody's fucking country. Just setting up shop. You know what I'm saying? Creating chaos. Destroying fucking civilizations. Wiping people out. They want to be the only ones left. And then the funny part about this, they want to kind of like act like they some type of Pacific people and shit. But really, But really, what they doing is they having sex with certain people and producing other people that don't really necessarily look like them, and then they claim themselves to be. Because I was looking at the Jewish people in that dumbass video they be having now, and they be talking about, oh yeah, I'm Jewish, and they be talking to the Palestinian guy. And when I look at them, I be looking at them like, motherfucker, you don't even look like you Jewish. All your motherfuckers look different, but trying to claim like y'all are Jewish. But I know why they claim that they're Jewish, because when they claim that they Jewish, what they trying to say is their belief system is Jewish. Meaning, I'm above everybody else. Everybody else is beneath me. We the only ones should be able to exist on this planet, and we supposed to be able to do whatever the fuck we want, cause chaos, take people, babies, and all type of shit. And whoever got something to say about it, you know what I'm saying, we shut them down, or you know what I'm saying, dismiss them, or act like it ain't even real, trying to call somebody anti-Semitic. Fuck the anti-Semitic bullshit. Motherfucker, just because I don't like you or I feel like you exploit people, that don't mean I'm anti-Semitic. That mean I'm anti-you, motherfucker. That's another thing I don't like about the Jewish motherfucker. I remember Corey Holcomb used to say that back in the day. He said them Jewish motherfuckers just be on his head, or, you know what I'm saying, trying to stop what he got going on. You motherfuckers think, the problem with you Jewish motherfuckers, you think you can bribe everybody with money. You can't bribe everybody with money. Motherfucker, I'm gonna speak on you regardless, and you ain't gonna stop me from getting money because guess what? I don't belong to you bitch ass motherfuckers. I belong to God.
Want to give subs? Gift the subs on Fresh and Fit. That is the best way to help. But going back to this,
Fuck yeah.
so recruited by Israeli military intelligence to bomb. So basically, a group of Egyptian Jews were recruited by Israeli military intelligence to plant bombs inside Egyptian, American, and British-owned civilian targets, cinemas, libraries, and American educational centers. The bomb.
In fact, you little small little. You motherfuckers is some little. I'm gonna just keep it all the way 100. You some little frail ass motherfuckers. That's the reason why you use deception and have to use guns and manipulate. You know what I'm saying? The environment to try to like hide yourself because you motherfuckers really wouldn't come out in the real world and challenge nobody to a damn duel. You punk ass motherfuckers.
Were timed to detonate several hours after closing time. The attacks were to be blamed on the Muslim Brotherhood, Egyptian communists, unspecified malcontents, or local nationalists with the aim of creating a climate of sufficient violence and instability to induce the British government to retain its occupying troop in Egypt's Suez Canal zone. The operation caused no casualties among the population, but resulted in the deaths of 4 operatives. It was a failed attempt. But if they had been able to be successful, guys, they would have probably killed Americans, British people, everybody. Okay? Who knows who would have been in these cinemas, libraries, and American educational centers? Americans, British people, Egyptians, everybody would have been dying. But they don't give a fuck. Okay? That's why they call Penes Lavon, Israeli defense minister. He was the one that ran this operation, but they got caught. But if they didn't get caught, who knows what would have happened? Change the course of history. So, yeah, guys, this is not the first time that Israel's done false flags. They do it all the fucking time, chat. All the time. And this is just one time that we caught them. 9/11, we know that Israeli intelligence operatives were there.
12, the Israelis didn't even give a damn because apparently the Mossad wasn't trying very hard to hide. Quote an intelligence official from Mark Perry's foreign policy expose in 2012, the Israelis didn't
And they didn't give a fuck.
even give a damn because apparently the Mossad wasn't trying very hard to hide these activities as they were meeting with Jundullah in London right under the nose of American and British intelligence. Now why would that be? Well, it might have something to do with the power and weight of the Israel lobby, because even though President Bush went ballistic after this report, he ultimately decided to do nothing to prevent Israel from
And also, Dick Cheney is in bed with the Zionist lobby. He doesn't mention that. Which, again, I owe you guys this. Another thing I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to do an episode on Dick Cheney. Because to understand the neocon era of the early 2000s, we need to analyze Dick Cheney. Pause. Okay? Because he is the chief neocon. He is the chief architect of the Iraq War. He's the one that really ran the White House from 1990, from 2000 up until 2008, pretty much. Okay? So, yeah, because George W. Bush Jr., as you guys know, he was very inexperienced, but Dick Cheney was very experienced. He was the one running the show.
continuing its covert operations despite internal calls to take action. One intelligence officer summed up the frustration many felt. A senior administration official vowed to take the gloves off with Israel, according to a U.S. intelligence officer. But the United States did nothing, a result that the officer attributed to political and bureaucratic inertia.
Yeah. I mean, you guys watch this podcast. I tell you guys all the time about the power of AIPAC and the Zionist lobbies. And guys, AIPAC is just the biggest one. There's hundreds of them, of these Zionist lobbies all across the United States.
Bureaucratic inertia is code for Zionist influence in the American political system. The U.S. government's failure,
I say Zionist control.
Man,
He's nicer about it than me. Man.
to take any decisive action against Israel, despite clear internal frustrations, demonstrates the influence of the Israeli lobby and how U.S.
bro, it's not just influence. What it is control, bro. Control, blackmail, mafia attitude. I've been running the world for a long time. I give you money. I can control where the money go. I can bankrupt y'all. You know what I'm saying? You want to live this life. Like, bro, it's more to that than just, you know, control. I mean, than the lobby, bro. They are wicked motherfuckers who got control over the government by, how can I put it, on some mild shit. And a lot of people are fucking scared to die instead of living righteous. You know what I'm saying? And some like people like me and Murray got to speak out because at the end of the day, bro, the only thing you can do is kill me, but you can't silence me or you can't stop my word from getting out. You motherfuckers are not. You motherfuckers are some straight lame ass bullies that really don't got no control like that, like y'all think. You just got control over people who are soft and scared to stand up to you weak ass motherfuckers.
Policy often bends to Israel's agenda, even at the expense.
And shout out to guys like Thomas Massey that called this bullshit out. But everybody else is too fucking terrified. You got cucks like Tom Cotton talking about Israel's our greatest ally. Fuck that.
Of American interests.
Almost got us into war in the early 2000s with this bullshit with Iran. And again, this was classified for years. Nobody knew about it, guys, but now we know about it.
It raises important questions.
Like, dude was a secret group, like controlling the world, and knew they was on some straight, like, how can I put it, devilish shit. Now we know exactly who it is now. It's you motherfuckers, you wicked ass Jewish Zionist motherfuckers.
About the nature of the Israeli-American relationship. Because Israel is often described as America's #1 ally, an entity whose interests are naturally and completely merged with that of America's. But how can it be considered?
Now, I want to discuss this real quick. Our interests a lot of times are not necessarily in line with Israel's. I'll give you guys a perfect example of right now what we have with these Iran negotiations. So, Trump simply doesn't want them to have nuclear weapons, okay? But Israel doesn't want them to have a nuclear program at all, because Israel looks at it like, if you guys are going to have a nuclear program, even if it's for energy, what's stopping you from increasing your uranium enrichment to weapons level and getting a nuclear bomb? Like I said before, many military strategists and geopolitical commentators pretty much all agree unanimously that Iran can build a nuclear bomb. It'd be crude, but they could build one within a month, okay? So that is a big problem for Israel, because Israel wants to be the only country in the region that has nuclear weapons. Saudi Arabia doesn't have them because we pretty much guarantee their protection during the Nixon era with the petrodollar. At UAE, we protect them as well. We have air bases all across the Gulf, these wealthy Arab countries. So we pretty much protect all of them for obvious reasons. But Israel wants to be the only one that actually has nuclear weapons. And don't forget, guys, Israel never publicly acknowledges its nuclear program. So they stole the uranium from us to be able to get the nuclear, to be able to create a nuclear program. Now they have a nuclear program, and they never publicly acknowledge that they have it. We all know they got it, but they can't say it publicly. And the reason why is because there's a law in place where if Israel was to acknowledge that it has nuclear weapons, they would immediately be breaching American law, and we would no longer give them foreign aid. So that is why they never publicly acknowledge it, despite the fact that everyone knows. A guy named Mordecai Vanunu exposed this back in like the 70s or the 80s, and they kidnapped his ass for that shit. Pretty much, he told this girl, or no, he was a reporter. Excuse me, no, he was a whistleblower on the Israeli nuclear program. He put the picture, he had the pictures, he had like 55 pictures. He wanted to sell them to the newspaper. Guess what he did? He sold them to a newspaper that was owned by who? Robert Maxwell. Who's Robert Maxwell? That is Ghislaine Maxwell's father. Robert Maxwell was an asset for the Mossad. So when he got these pictures about the nuclear program, guess what he did? He told the Mossad. Mossad sent a woman over to Mordecai Vanunu, told him, hey, I like you. You're hot. Let's meet in Italy. His dumbass, oh yeah, I'm going to get laid. Next thing you know, he goes over there, and some niggas grab him up, punch, and they kidnapped his ass and took him to fucking Israel. And then he had like a closed-in trial, and he spent like 10 years in solitary confinement. He's alive to this day. I think he converted to Christianity and left Israel. But that's what I'm trying to say. That goes to show you guys that, like, they don't want anybody knowing they have the nuclear weapons. So, for obvious reasons. So, when it comes back to U.S. Intentions versus Israeli intentions, Trump just wants them to not have a nuclear bomb or nuclear weapons. Israel wants them to not have a nuclear program at all. But, as usual, Israel's going to do everything in its power to force us having the same intentions, like they did with the Iraq War in 2003.
An alliance if you are teaming up with people who routine even complaining about it. And
that's crazy.
These aren't just questions that you and I may be asking. These are questions that the American intelligence community has been asking for years. According to Perry, these intelligence officers expressed concerns over the fact that Israel's operations were jeopardizing U.S. relationships with countries like Pakistan. One officer remarked,
Guys, and you guys know Pakistan is an ally of ours. They're kind of like a backhanded ally because they host so many different fucking, Muslim militias that are considered terrorist groups. But they are an ally. That's why they have the F-14 fighter jets, but can't use them against India. Guys, do me a favor. We only got 2,100 likes. We got 3,300 plus you guys in here, man. Do me a solid, guys, and like the video. Okay, like the video. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor. If this is your first time that you ever watched a live, give me a 1 in the chat. Rumble as well. If this is the first time that you guys ever watched a live, thank you so much to Storm Graven for donating 5 subs on Friendship Fit. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Give me 1 if this is your first time watching a live stream here on YouTube, Rumble, whatever. Type a 1 in the chat if this is your first time here. It's always interesting to see how many new people we got. But yeah, like the video, guys. Let's get to 3,000 likes. And we're going to cover Piers Morgan after this chat.
that while the U.S. had cooperated with Israel in intelligence gathering, it was
Okay, we got a lot of new people in here. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, guys, welcome.
too far to be involved in the assassination of Iranian officials. No matter what anyone thinks, we are not in the business of assassinating Iranian officials or killing Iranian civilians. This quote speaks
But Israel is though.
directly to
They want to assassinate anybody that don't get down or who ain't comfortable with them doing their, bidding, whatever the fuck they think. It's funny how they act like they believe in this fake ass Messiah shit, but really they don't believe in nothing. Really they just the fucking devils. Because at the end of the day, Jesus don't believe in all this old treachery. We the king of the world belong to us, and nobody else. Like, bro, like it's stupid. None of these motherfuckers believe in this God. All this religious stuff is fucking bullshit. It's all cap, bro. And the silly part about it is, why would somebody the Most High, who was to be the most loving person that made human beings, you know what I'm saying, to live on this planet, to enjoy life, make y'all the chosen ones? Like, just think about it, bro. We were chosen devils.
within the U.S. government about Israel undermining the interests of its supposed ally. This operation was
Always undermine our fucking interests. Always.
seen as dangerous and escalatory, moving the U.S. further away from its stated goals. Another intelligence officer highlighted the ongoing tension within the Bush administration regarding Israel's operations with Jundullah. Israel's relationship.
Just so you guys know, Bush's administration was crawling with neocon Zionists. Worse than now. Worse than now. Okay? Israel single-handedly got us into the war in Iraq. There was no reason for us to go in there, bro.
with Jundullah continued to roil the Bush administration until the day it left office. Israel's activities jeopardized the administration's fragile relationship with Pakistan, which was coming under intense pressure from Iran to crack down on Jundullah. It also undermined U.S. claims that it would never fight terror with terror.
And plus, we play nice with Pakistan, by the way, guys, because they're a nuclear power. Okay? So, them fucking up our relationship with Pakistan creates a lot of problems for us because, and this is the Israelis, of course, fucking up our relationship with Pakistan, number one, puts us in danger because they have nuclear weapons, and then number two, they're an ally with intelligence in the region. So, what the fuck, man? But again, like I said before, Israel not only undermines us, but they put us in danger for their bullshit all the time.
Invited attacks in kind on U.S. personnel. So here we see the broader diplomatic consequences of Israel's actions.
They're like a super expensive girlfriend that gives you no fucking value and gives you starfish sex like once a year. That's what Israel is basically to us, bro. Fucking useless. Huge liability, huge bill.
endangered U.S. interests by further entangling them in covert activities that were deeply unpopular with regional allies like Pakistan, while also undermining the moral high ground the U.S. had tried to maintain in its supposed fight against terrorism. A senior administration official expressed the frustration of those who saw Israel as jeopardizing American interests. It's easy to understand why Bush was so angry, a former intelligence officer said. After all, it's hard to engage with a foreign government if there can.
And guys, keep in mind, we went to war in Iraq for Israel, right? So obviously, everybody knows that the Iraq war was a monumental fucking failure, and it's gonna probably be the biggest, you know, dark spot on Bush's administration. And by the time 2008 rolled around and he was leaving the White House, everybody knew this. So for Israel to undermine him again with this Jundullah scandal, it's just incredibly disrespectful and annoying because his legacy was tarnished thanks to Netanyahu going in there and saying, oh yeah, we need to get rid of Saddam because if we get rid of Saddam, it'll have positive reverberations all across the region. Yeah, okay, buddy. 1 million dead people later, billions upon billions of dollars, and the war against terror, actually trillions at this point. For what? No fucking benefit.
Convinced you're killing their people.
But you know who benefited? Israel benefited. 80% of Israel's oil comes from where? The Kurds in northern Iraq. Welcome. Punch. Always follow the fucking money, chat. Okay? Always follow the money. Funny story for you guys as well. You guys know, we did the Fresh and Fit thingy yesterday with our boy, with our guy, Calvin. And Calvin is actually a Kurd from Iraq. And he told me the real story on that, and I'll tell you guys after this. Let's finish this, and I'll tell you guys what he told me. Really interesting shit he told me.
This line underscores the point that Israel's actions in targeting Irani are as to fly to Washington, D.C. to address Congress in person.
Well, this is a bad deal. We're better off without it.
Where he pit Republicans against Democrats.
A foreign leader comes to our country and tries to question our president's decision to do a deal. Do you guys see the fucking problem with that one? Love him or hate him, Obama's nuclear deal was a fucking awesome plan. A great plan that took many years to make happen.
In a deal that was supposed to serve all of America's interests. And when that didn't work, they pressured Trump to tear it up instead.
The United States will withdraw from the Iran.
And now, what? Fast forward 7 fucking years later, and he's trying to use that same exact deal, the same structure and framework now.
Nuclear deal.
This put Iran right back into their nuclear posture, a position that buys Israel more time to try and instigate a war between them and the U.S. to their own gain and benefit. The unraveling of the nuclear deal, which Israel is 100% responsible for, demonstrates just how powerful and damaging their influence on U.S. foreign policy is. And fast forward now, years later, Trump is back trying to renegotiate the same exact deal Obama already had 10 years ago. But this time, Iran isn't interested because tearing up the old deal killed the U.S.'s credibility.
Former President Obama says pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal is, quote, serious mistake. In a statement, Mr. Obama said walking away from the...
Big mistake. And now we can't demand the same stuff. They don't trust us, right? That's why they've had to have like 3 or 4 different rounds of fucking talks.
ACPOA turns her back on America's close...
He didn't even want to meet with us directly first. Guys, the first meeting wasn't even direct, FYI, just so you guys know. The first meeting was not direct. It wasn't until like the second or third meeting that it was finally direct where we were officially talking to him.
And I wouldn't trust us either. And I definitely wouldn't trust trying to do a deal with the fucking devil. That's basically all fucking Zionist motherfuckers is. Straight devils. Talking about eating babies and shit. Man, you motherfuckers weirdos. You ain't no chosen one. You the chosen list. You the ones that's not chosen. That's why I try to run around like y'all the chosen ones and made up this fake story about y'all being genocide. Shut up with that old 6 million Jews got killed shit. Nigga, that's cap. You motherfuckers are fallen angels.
And an agreement that our country's leading diplomats, scientists, and intelligence professionals negotiated. He continued.
Hey guys, we're almost at 3,500 subs, man. Let's get to 3,500, chat. Show goes on.
At the end of the day, I want y'all, man. Look, I'm going out for something. I'm going out like bro, I'm going on speaking the truth. I'm going out being me. I ain't. Look, you soft hats, whatever you want to call yourself. You fake ass chosen ones. Guess what? I don't need your money. I ain't look. I'd rather go broke before I kiss y'all ass and act like y'all some type of chosen people and make a deal with y'all and not say what I want to say because you motherfuckers are set, bruh. You made a deal with Satan. Think I'm gonna do the same thing? Negative.
The more subs we got.
The consistent flouting of agreements that our country is a part of.
And also, if you guys are watching the show, watch it on Fresh and Fit on Rumble. I might turn the Myron Gaines X Rumble off so you guys can watch it just on Fresh and Fit. Do something for the greater good of the team. But watch it on.
Funny how y'all try to call somebody anti-Semites. The same thing when black people try to say, "Oh, racism." Like, man, shut up, man. Like, bro, calling somebody anti-Semite is like calling somebody a racist dog for saying you a nigger. Okay, whatever. It ain't nothing but a word. If you act like if you a nigger, right? I'm using it with the ER. If you let that hurt you, the same reason why if you let somebody criticizing you, I want to have my own country and I want to go bomb up Lebanon and kill 70,000 people in Gaza, and then we don't supposed to say nothing. Man, miss me with that.
On Fresh and Fit, guys. I'm streaming to both channels, but watch it on Fresh and Fit Ninjas. And yeah.
Party to risks eroding America's credibility and puts us at odds with the world's major powers.
Iran knows that if they agree today,
Look, here's the Supreme Leader. How could we hold negotiations with the U.S. when we know they won't fulfill their commitments? That was on March 12, 2025. He's right, bro. Like, he's right.
the Zionists could just tear it up tomorrow. The IOC also tweeted out recently, why would we negotiate with America when they cannot honor their own agreement?
Flores25 just sent in 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, bro. And guys, keep engaging in the chat when you guys.
Intelligence. This is dangerous for both the US and Iran, as it risks a war that only Israel would truly benefit from. As the saying goes, chaos is a ladder. Chaos.
And just so you guys know, I'm looking at the Rumble chat right now. If you have the red little thing, that means you're subbed. So I see you guys right now aren't subbed. Get those subs, chat. Get those subs. Type in the chat, engage, and hopefully when people give subs, you'll get them. Okay.
I absolutely I love her for life.
That interview lasted 2 hours. In the end, we covered a lot of ground. There were moments of tension and moments, I think, of mutual understanding. Yeah, he got up and walked off at one point, but he had to think about what he wanted to say, and then he came back and he said it.
And we'll have the top lawyers like a Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian level legal team, looking at all of these contracts together. After that moment happens, then I will say, I'm sorry.
Okay, if that's your position.
Interview adjourned. Love you.
Yeah, thanks for sitting back down. I'll change the subject now. Obviously, I have no idea what's going on in this guy's head, and he's unquestionably a genius artist with a global fan base and massive talent. He's devoted his life under the microscope of intense fame, and that pressure alone make people behave very oddly. Back then, I was trying to understand if he had any regret or.
What it is, Piers Morgan, is just that he's not scared to say the stuff that you won't say. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Myron saying stuff that you won't say. That's the problem. Like, why would we wanna kiss ass to people who don't like us for real?
Also, what could have been a relatively isolated incident or some kind of episode. I wanted to know if he understood there are consequences for his words, and whether he was genuinely a racist. Well, we now.
See, you say anything about the Jews, speak on them, and say you don't like them. When people can say they don't like black people openly, think about it. Racism is allowed in America. That's the First Amendment. When you say you don't like those people, oh, it's consequences. Man, shut up.
just the tip of the iceberg as far as the watching public is concerned. Ye has spiraled in both his personal life and his business life. Most recently, he's taken to posting endless, outrageous anti-Semitic slurs on X. He frequently professes his great love for Adolf Hitler. He poses in swastikas and KKK.
He's a scumbag, Piers Morgan.
/ in the chat, motherfuckers. I want to repeat that part real quick, man. Yo, / in the chat, man. I want to see that chat fly, bro. I want to see that fucking chat fly, bro. Yo, what the fuck?
Into posting endless, outrageous anti-Semitic slurs on X. He frequently professes his great love for Adolf Hitler. He poses in swastikas and KKK costumes. He says things like Jews were better as slaves and they should be whipped. We all
Man.
Bro, the fact that he's taking this so seriously is what's funny to me, bro.
Exactly, bro.
Come on, man. This is literally so fucking soft. Oh, that's offensive. Come on, Pierce. Come on, man. You're in media. You know how this shit goes, man.
know this because X has allowed him to carry on doing it to his 33 million followers. I've argued for a long time his account should be shut down. It should be stopped.
Bro, how do you have a show called Uncensored but you're calling for censorship? Come on, man.
Right, shut up. Bro.
That's my opinion. I believe passionately in free speech and I detest censorship.
Okay, if you
believe in free speech, but you just try to cut his free speech. Shut your stupid ass up.
believe in free speech,
and I don't
you can't sit there and say his account should be shut down.
Anyway.
What the fuck?
You, Pierce,
Come
man.
on, Pierce. Come on, man.
Because I believe in the importance of sharing honestly held opinions in a democracy. But posting endless, vile, anti-Semitic insults.
Well, guess what? You need to protect the anti-Semitic insults because that is what free speech is for. It's not for the speech that people want to hear. Just so you guys know, when it comes to freedom of speech and protecting speech, it's not about protecting the speech that's politically correct or non-offensive. It's the most offensive stuff as to why free speech is needed. Not the safe speech.
Yeah. Same
okay?
thing I said earlier, like racism. If you can't take it that somebody called you a nigger as a black dude, go sit your goofy ass down.
People always forget this shit. Chenza says, yo, thank you for everything you do, and shout out to Frank for real. Can I just sub directly so I don't get ads? I listen to your show during my shift and even after, but my job blocks data and shit, and it always makes Rumble glitch the fuck out. Yeah, bro, you gotta sub on Rumble. You can't sub directly. You gotta become a member. I think if you go on the Rumble app, right? So I open up Rumble.
View.
Yeah, they shut this shit down, man. Remember, guys, they literally shut his shit down when all this stuff happened before a couple years back. So
is that's the win. So I think I'm in contrast to your contrast.
Okay, but the point I was going to make is that I watch what you put out on X. You got 32 million followers, so you're one of the most followed people.
So what, Piers Morgan? So what? You had a racist bitch on your fucking show called Unfiltered. So what? He on X, where it's Unfiltered. Bringing up stuff off X like that supposed to mean something. It's a free speech platform, you dumbass.
Wait. Now look right now. You're not gonna take inches off my dick, bro. Like, how many followers do I have?
Well, how many is it?
I think you could do the study. You got a whole
inches off my dick.
Staff over there.
I thought it was 32 million. How many is it? You obviously know.
Don't help them out. You know they.
I'm told it's 33 million now. So congratulations.
Shout out to Smoked Hat becoming a supporter. Guys, the best place to become a supporter though with a sub is on Fresh to Fit. On the Fresh to Fit, Rock what is there.
And I love what Yeezy doing. That's why I'm saying I'm finna start just going in and start speaking out too, because at the end of the day, it's too many soft ass motherfuckers out here in the world who just don't. I know you soft hats. You know what I'm saying? You small hat motherfuckers probably try to, you know what I'm saying, do what you can do to get me, jammed up. But guess what? I'm gonna make it with it without you. You know what I mean? Pitiful ass motherfucker. Like that's the sad part about it is that you can't do what you do out in the open. You gotta do what you do behind closed doors to get away with it. That's when you know you soft.
Let's keep going. This is gonna be hilarious.
You're slightly bigger following than I thought.
No, congratulations. Your information is correct. You're not just some, dude trying to sub. I'm a gift, bro. You know what I mean? Why do all you people in media act like you haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduation?
So I don't know if you guys are noticing here. What Kanye's kind of trying to, or Ye is trying to assert here is like superiority over Pierce, because he knows that this is going to be an adversarial interview. He already knows that they're going to try to grill him on his music and what he's saying and shit like that. And Timmy's looking at it like, bro, I'm an artist. Like, I want to just be free. And you niggas are trying to come in here and, get some views off of challenging my art. So to him, he's like, fuck y'all, Also, guys, we got 2,400 likes, man. Let's get to 3,000. We got 3,500 you guys in here on YouTube alone. We're watching. We got how many? 6 to 7,000 you guys in here, right? Doing the math, roughly, like 8,000. So do me a favor, guys. Like the video. Sub to the channel on Fresh and Fit. Okay, show some love. And let's get to 3,000 likes on YouTube. Since we're
like everybody look up to Jay-Z too. Now that I think about it, everybody like Jay-Z. So much of a great guy, a great art. Bro, only thing you got is money. You would never get up here on the media in front of a camera and say what Kanye West saying and speak your mind. That's why Kanye West don't fuck with you, because Jay-Z, really, you a goofy. And we know you try to get, what's his name, jammed up, Tory Lanez. You know what I mean? Like, Jay-Z, I never liked your music anyway. I like one song that you made. I like that Moment of Clarity. I do like that song. But other than that, when I heard Cameron dish your lame ass and called you a writer, not a writer, I was like, you trash, bro. But anyway, like I wanted to say, is that I see why Kanye West got away from you and a lot of people got. You probably said Puff Daddy up too, P. Diddy, with your lame ass. Jay-Z, you a lame. I hope you see this too with your lame ass.
Demonetized on YouTube.
Bitch ass nigga.
Or at funerals or when your child was born. You take somebody that's living like a Lennon, Michael Jackson, and you just take all this time to just like that nuance right there. It's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
What are you talking about? I haven't said anything.
What are you talking about? It's 30. Okay, now you're not taking accountability or responsibility.
You're trying to have a play your meeting. Of course I played your meeting.
No, sir. This is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count.
Okay. Where's he gone, Snake?
Yeah, that's it for Ye. But it's nice to meet you, Piers.
Where's he gone?
I think he's going back to work. There's several things he's working on. I was not aware he was going to leave like this, but it seems like he got upset about the...
So it's all just a game, is it? Is that...
And just like that, now it's a Sneeko interview.
The idea?
I mean, life is a video game, is it?
No, I just wondered what the point of this exercise was. Was he supposed to do an interview or not?
He's supposed to do an interview, but I mean, the amount of Twitter files, something like that, it's patronizing for no reason. You said his name incorrectly. You know his name is Ye. This is very public about that. Hopefully we could do it. I think this was good. We were prepared for a good interview. But, come on, you know what you were doing.
What do you think I'm doing?
I think you were trying to patronize very intentionally by getting those two things, under his skin. Maybe it could have been about past interviews or because of what happened yesterday. But, I mean, this
man, I do wish he signed the interview, though. I do wish he did it. It would have been interesting to see what questions Pierce would have had. Well, let's see what he has to Sneeko. I haven't seen this interview, by the way, Kat, so this is all fresh for me.
Information is
not... The whole thing is, you don't got to be cordial with them, because they're not cordial with you. And they coming in with, like, ulterior motives. You know what I'm saying? Piers Morgan want to try to question him about his views on certain things. Piers Morgan, if you was man enough and started saying things that you really felt, out loud, or how you really thought about things out loud, people can have ulterior motives and question you about how you think and what you feel, but you can't because you a coward. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of like keep things bottled in. And you got to try to protect these small hat dudes, which you really how they get down and the control that they got and how they kind of like manipulate what's going on in the society. You don't like it either, but you don't got enough courage to say nothing about it. That's the problem with you, Piers Morgan. Like, so I feel like he should have walked off. Like Piers Morgan don't even deserve respect, bro.
Not that difficult to get right.
Bed.
Yeah, we called him Ye, and we got his Twitter following count wrong by 1 million, from 32 to 33 million. Also, for the record, you guys dicked us around yesterday, and you seem to find that very entertaining and amusing in your live stream, which I'm sure you will now. You kept all my crew in Spain and here waiting, and then wasted their time, and then you got us all back now, and you've wasted our time again, and you again may find that funny and entertaining, and that's fine. I don't. I think it's a total waste of everyone's time.
Now, I will say, I can understand the frustration, because coming from the production side, it is expensive to have a crew. It's expensive.
Myron, we don't care. Okay? And I'm laying in my bed making this video on live. So what? I don't give a fuck. Talk shit about my teeth, my life, my back. I don't care. At the end of the day, Piers Morgan don't deserve respect. Because every time Piers Morgan talk about Ye, he's criticizing Ye or making Ye seem like he's the bad guy. But he don't say nothing about the small hat guys and make them look like they the bad guys. Even if he do, he not genuine about it. He don't even necessarily, how can I put this? He don't necessarily criticize them genuinely. You know what I'm saying? He kind of trying to make it seem like he's trying to play both sides of the fence. Forget Piers Morgan. I want to say something else, but I'm gonna say forget Piers Morgan. Cause I'm gonna be nice.
Do this stuff remotely the way that they do it. So I could understand. I think they're independent. I don't think he's under these big news media organizations anymore. So I could be sensitive to that it was wildly expensive probably for him to get his crew out there, rig them up with mics and everything else like that. So I get it, but it is what it is, right?
Exactly.
Effort and money.
But hey, Pierce is getting content though. Come on, man. He's gonna make that money back with this video, so he shouldn't be bitching so hard.
Thank you.
Well, it is. I was ready for the interview yesterday too. My time is important as well, regardless if it was wasted. We have to admit this is somewhat entertaining. This is going to be.
Yeah, he's going to get a bunch of views. How many views does this shit have already? 229,000 already. 5 hours, bro. This thing's going to be 1 million in the next couple of days, so he'll make his money back.
Laughed at by many people. It's not what I expected, but that was funny. That's undeniably walking off right into the beginning of an interview is funny.
Yeah. Out of interest, what do you do with him?
I'm working on several films right now. I am streaming out here. I'm editing, and I work on things behind the scenes, some inspiration for art. I'm just there to try to help fulfill his vision.
Well, let me ask you the questions I would have asked him. So, I mean, out of interest, what is...
All right, let's see.
With his obsession with Hitler, why is he so rampantly anti-Semitic?
I'm not going to answer questions on his behalf.
Well, you're going to have to.
I can't
answer
questions on his behalf.
He's not there.
What's that? What's that?
He's not there. He literally is dropping a track today called Heil Hitler. Why are you happy to...
Trolling.
Oh, man.
To be associated with somebody like that out of interest.
Well, I'm not going to speak on his art and his vision.
I'm asking you why you are happy to be associated with somebody who most of the world believes is now a rampant anti-Semite.
Well, you're associated as well. Your show is called Piers Morgan Uncensored. You tried to get him censored on X. And here you are on the days we're going to release the song doing an interview with him.
Oh, let's go, Sneeko. Good. I told him to say that with the whole uncensored thing. Let's go.
We're all involved here. It's not like I'm the only one complicit.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to get him on was because I don't think anyone holds him to account for anything he does on X. And in fact, he deliberately breaches all of X's rules, and yet he does it with impunity and is allowed to do it. Whereas,
Yo, 3,000 likes, niggas. We got fucking 3,700 of you guys in here. Like the goddamn video. We should be at 30.
I swear, I was just saying it about Piers Morgan. He's fucking disingenuous. Okay. Call Ye anti-Semitic, right? Which ain't hurt nobody. But call the soft hats genociders, because that's what they doing in Gaza. But you don't hear Piers Morgan saying that. So Piers Morgan, with that being said, suck my.
I don't want to have to stop the show, chat. Let's get to 3,000 likes on YouTube. We're gonna cover the debate that I did earlier, as well. With which we did. I did that interview yesterday, guys. That's why I was so fucking tired yesterday, because I stayed up all morning to because I couldn't go to sleep for that Piers Morgan interview. So do me a favor, guys. Let's get to 3,000 likes. I see that we're at 25, 28 right now. We got 31,000 views on YouTube already. 25, 28 likes. Let's get to 3,000 ninjas. Let's get that engagement up. Okay. I'm gonna run a poll too. Fuck it. I'm gonna run a poll on YouTube. So
millions of other accounts get suspended for far less offences. So I was going to ask him directly, which is why I mentioned his X following. I was going to ask him about what he puts on X and why he does this, why he continually attacks Jewish people, why he continually celebrates Adolf Hitler. And then I'm curious about, given he's not there, can't answer me questions, what your association is with this guy, and whether you're comfortable to be associated with somebody who most people consider to be an anti-Semite.
I think I just answered this.
Okay, associate, of course, I knew he was going to say it. Linda says, just got off of work and tuned in. Thank you for all your hard work. Brother, did you hear about 4 women are accusing Smokey Robinson of sexual assault, 150 million? What the fuck is going on in our country, bro? All these bitches are all lying. Yo, thank you for everything you do. Shout out Frank. Oh, read that one before. All right, cool. We're caught up on the chats over there. Guys, sub to the channel on Rumble, Fresh to Fit. Click that button, sub. It's only $5, or donate some subs to some people, and let's keep cooking, man. The goal's at 3,500.
Question. These are good questions. I think I just answered half.
Well, you haven't answered the question, have you?
But I mean, if I did, you said, what are you doing out here? And I said, I'm doing films, and I'm reporting behind the scenes, and I'm streaming, and I'm editing and helping fulfill his
vision.
vision.
Have you been helping him with the track Heil Hitler?
No, I don't. I'm not a music guy. And if you wanted to get questions about his Twitter or X correct, then you should have got the number of followers correct. That was something intentional that you knew what you were doing.
So I got
you know everything about what he's
tweeting. Is that what you say?
Well, if you know everything else that he's tweeting, you should have got that right as well.
Oh, don't be so pathetic, Sneeko. Honestly, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get good content which will promote you, Sneeko. And I'm just curious how you, Sneeko, deal with the fact that you are so openly associating yourself with somebody who seems to worship Adolf Hitler and is pro the Nazis. Do you feel comfortable about that?
No, we worship God.
No, he worships Adolf Hitler.
I'm here promoting this. We could talk about
Adolf Hitler.
That you were working, essentially.
That's crazy that they're saying that they're worshiping Hitler, bro. Come on, man. That's very disingenuous and a ridiculous accusation to make. Obviously talks a lot about being a Christian. Sneeko's a Muslim, right? Pretty religious. He prays and he does what he's supposed to do. So for him to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, y'all worship Hitler," he's trying to get a reaction here. I guess Ye didn't want to play that game.
Yeah.
So
that's why he don't deserve respect.
Because the way he framed his question, which he always does this, right? He did this with Tate. He did this with other individuals. You guys are gonna see him do it also.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a goofy, bro. Like, I'm glad Ye walked off. He don't even deserve nobody attention, and he don't deserve nobody being honest with him and being like straight up with him. Because even if you do it, he's gonna be disingenuous. Don't nobody want to talk to no disingenuous ass motherfucker. Piers Morgan, you a goofy, you lame, you would do anything for money, and I won't be surprised if you got poked in the butt.
I do my interview as well, or when we did our little panel debate. So yeah, guys, 2,700. Let's go to 3,000. I don't want to have to stop the show.
Don't like.
But now I gotta fucking do it because we didn't hit the numbers. I keep telling you guys, smash that fucking like button, get the engagement up. I'm demonetized on YouTube, so the way to grow is we. Integrity. I got a duty to my audience. Shut the fuck up, you bitch. Shut the fuck up. I guarantee if the video wasn't monetized and you would have made AdSense revenue on it, you would have never made it, you bitch ass nigga. Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking snake, and I'm exposing your dumbass for being the snake that you are. You're one of these high horse motherfuckers that wants to sit there and be like, yeah, well, I preach I have integrity. Shut the fuck up, bro. You're a snake, and you're the worst kind because you try to sit there and moral grandstand as this provider of truth and integrity and not being biased, etc. All this other bullshit. But the only thing that you really give a fuck about is making AdSense, you piece of shit. That's the problem. And here's the thing. We could talk about it in person. We could talk about it on the live stream. But you're probably not going to do that because without your editor, you're a fucking nobody and you know it. Your shitty ass fucking commentary channel. Fucking loser. See, look, even here. Abba's always been a snake. That's why I stopped following his channel years ago. Bro, I'm telling you, man. I'm exposing this nigga. This nigga's a fucking snake. He is a snake. The reason why people don't say this is because they're scared of their own. They don't want to get roasted. They think he's going to make a hit piece of, oh my God, he'll end my career. But like I told y'all before, if this nigga ever put on some gloves and boxed me and I beat the shot of him, everyone would be cheering. Everyone. Like, oh, yes, finally. It's just that they're too scared to say this shit and call this nigga out for what he is. He is a fucking snake coward that literally betrayed somebody that put him on and did so much for him. You guys don't have to like Destiny. Cool. I know a lot of y'all don't like Destiny. Fine. But this guy is close friends with Destiny. Destiny's brought him to his house. They've known each other for years. They've done collabs. And he did that shit to him. That's why. And I've been telling you guys for years that Abba was a snake. I've been telling y'all that shit. But now you guys can see it for yourselves. Shout out to Brett for the awesome clip, by the way. Welcome. Punch. You guys are saying I hate Abba so much. Abba hates me, guys. He's made 70 videos on me. 70. 7-0.
Amplified by. How am I going to run a business when advertisers are saying, yo, that crossed the line?
It depends on your job, though, I think. Like, what if she works at the local bank?
Right.
Does anyone care?
No one's going to know. And so for us, we're like, that's why I think if you're in the media space, it is different.
Yeah, totally.
That being said,
of course it is.
The threshold for us here at Timcast is largely criminal. So we've had people here go on X and post really messed up stuff, and I'm like, oh. And then I've had people tweet at me, be like, did you see what your employee said? And I'm like, I did. And you're going to fire them? And I just put LOL. I don't think you know you're talking to. Like, someone on their own free time said a naughty word on X. What am I going to do about it? Knock on their door and be like, hey, I police your life now? What is this, communism? I don't want to live in that world. Mm-hmm. I want a private business. Someone comes here to clean my floors. I'm going to tell them what they can or can't say.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
But that's the world that they want to live in.
That's the world a lot of people want to live in. Except when it happens to them, and then they find it confusing, and they wonder what happened.
You know, that clip was hilarious, though, because Piers was like, do it, say it like Piers. You knew where that was going. Mm-hmm. You got two black guys on your show, and you told the white woman to drop an N-bomb. Why?
You should have. It'd be hilarious.
Like, why?
She's already said it before.
Because look, Piers Morgan's show is like Maury Povich.
Yeah.
He gets people to do outrageous things. That's part of his MO. Give him what he wants. Give him the clip he wants. Not like Lily cares, you know?
Yeah.
The whole point of that show is the outrage. Mm-hmm. You know, the point of Piers' show is outrage. So
I would love to do the culture war with Zoom calls because we would get a lot more people if we did. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Like, even when I'm doing these one-on-one interviews in the morning, it's really hard to have interaction because we can't really see each other.
No, I do those all the time. Like, I'll do, like Newsmax or whatever from my house. And the Prime Minister of Malta was like...
Because you guys were mentioning, you mentioned me on here, but...
you let us...
Let's see here.
I was saying this before, like, the White House people were saying they thought I was a hermit and I wouldn't go anywhere. What?
Are you allowed to play this on this part?
Nobody says anything nasty.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Mark Lamont Hill does use a racial slur.
Okay.
But...
it's what I call systemic organized... And what I mean by this is, for decades... He blurred out what I said. I said niggardry is the word I used. They blurred out the word I used. I called it systematic organized niggardry, a.k.a. S-O-N, son. All right? And black people literally running around with
was an establishment in Philadelphia where an incident occurred, and Dave Portnoy sensationalized it to his 9.2 million followers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
On Instagram and X, essentially turning it into a global news story. Although I had nothing to do with the sign coming out, nor do I know who did it, I know that the sign was provocative because it reminded people a lot of the unjust things that Israel is doing around the world, thus leading me to report on it. Dave Portnoy and his friends choose to be triggered over the sentiments of that sign, and he kicked me out of the establishment forever.
Right.
However, they have no right to destroy my life over free speech and ultimately something that was an edgy joke. Frankly, they're more worried about destroying and uprooting me than thousands of people getting destroyed and uprooted in genocide. That sign had no effects in terms of killing any Jews. However, Israel kills thousands of people on a daily basis. Dave Portnoy and the greater Jewish community are acting as if they are the victims when this whole time I am the victim. While Dave lies about me on the internet and viciously attacks me, tries to take me to take a trip as a result of not destroying me and my family, here's ways that I've actually been
that blackmail, bro. That he did that Epstein shit.
Affected, and not just my feelings. I've gotten suspended from my university.
Temple kicked him out of this shit. Temple sucks. Don't get it twisted. Temple fucking blows. But I was actually gonna go to Temple, then I realized it's in a. That was born with a silver spoon in your fucking mouth. You've always had money and privilege. And for you to sit there and fucking bully some kids half your age for a stupid fucking joke that offended you, that hurt your feelings, fuck the Jews, I'll show them. To fire your employees, to include firing a girl that tried to stop the sign from coming out, makes you a fucking piece of shit. And I'll tell you that to your face too. That is bitch made. Bitch made. Especially when you're on Rumble. Absolutely bitch made. You ruin these fucking kids' lives over an edgy joke, and you use your platform to do it when you're supposed to be a bastion of free speech, you fucking scumbag. You're a fucking embarrassment. Holy shit. Oh, well, maybe I'll react. I'm just going to send him to Auschwitz and said, too late, man. Too late. Too late. And then you wonder why nobody watches Barstool Sports anymore. And then you wonder why nobody fucking respects you. Your Andrew Tate interview was a fucking embarrassment. Incredible, bro. Incredible. You are literally confirming the very stereotypes that Jews have had to endure for decades. Overrepresentation, too much power in certain positions, and when having those positions of power, they use it to their own advantage. You fucking embodied all of you, dumbass. You proved the stereotype right, and then you wonder why people don't like your dumbass. Incredible. Holy shit, man. Wow. Incredible, bro. What a fucking embarrassment this guy is, man.
Let's try to, turn us.
You eat pizza and smoke weed all day. Who the fuck are you, man? Honestly. I've not heard one person say, oh yeah, Dave Portnoy saved my life. Oh yeah, I look up to Dave Portnoy. You're a fucking degenerate. 50-year-old degenerate. You got titties.
A hideous incident into maybe a learning experience, as cliche and very...
A hideous incident? For having a sign that said fuck the Jews when they're trolling? Hideous incident? Come on, man. Like you've never fucking made a joke about a Muslim or a black person or some other minority group. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. When you're a college kid, you didn't do nothing stupid like that? Seriously? The only difference between you and this other kid is that you didn't have some millionaire try to ruin your life in the beginning. That's the difference. There was no social media when you did the fuck shit. So you were able to operate in anonymity. Because here's the thing, if you were really that offended and you wanted to teach a lesson, you could have found his contact information and contacted him directly. You did not have to fucking go to the internet and use your platform to destroy this fucking kid's life and destroy all the other people's lives too. The fucking people that work for you. The bottle girls. One of them tried to stop the sign from coming down. You still fired her? Bruh.
Back and forth. Austin, who's here, started taping it. This fucking piece of shit. Let me put it in right now. Here's who I would say is causing that type of environment. All these colleges who let you.
So here's his he has the laptop on top of a bunch of books.
Jewish kids get harassed on campus 24/7.
Who fucking who? Kids get harassed on college campuses? How about all the kids that are getting...
I'm sure it'll get money because it's out there. But like, you have to, this has to disgust you, and this kid's face should be ingrained in you. Be like, this is what the face of hatred is. This is what the face of being a coward is. This is the face of zero accountability. Everything that's wrong with this generation. And this kid, now, officially, it should stick with him forever. And by the way, his parents, who I know would give him the advice, nice kid he raised.
Over this past weekend, I was in an establishment in Philadelphia where an incident occurred, and Dave Portnoy sensationalized it to his 9.2 million followers on Instagram and X, essentially turning it into a global news story. Although I had nothing to do with the sign coming out, nor do I know who did it, I know that the sign was provocative because it reminded people a lot of the unjust things that Israel is doing around the world, thus leading me to report on it. Dave Portnoy and his friend...
Alright, so... we watched that, when you call them, let me see if there's anything else here. Okay, he played his video. All right. He said, this dude is a flat-out liar. Talked to him on the phone with his buddy, and they both owned up to it and cried about it. He then lawyered up after speaking with his family. His name got out because he's a moron, uploaded fuck the Jew sign on Instagram before I even knew about it. Yeah, bro, but it was the anti-Semitism fucking people that posted it everywhere. He already went viral without me. He spreads hate, and you, no, he didn't go viral without you, bro. No, he didn't. No, you were the one that made it viral. It would have ended at the whole stop anti-Semitism shit, but you getting on there and fucking doing a whole ass like tirade absolutely made it viral, bro. Bam, that's the missile hand right there. Hold on one sec, chat. See, and you guys see this? Look, all these people are terrified. You know who you got to blame for this shit? The Israeli fucking government, bro. The Israeli government.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because the issue here is that what Netanyahu doesn't understand is that until he fucking gives the Palestinians rights of self-determination, gives them their own state, stops fucking expanding on the West Bank, they're not going to stop attacking them, bro. And here's the thing. Look, I want the Israelis to live in peace. But we got to have a very real discussion here. They're never going to have peace in the Middle East until they give the Palestinians the ability to have self-determination, bro. That's just really what it comes down to. And the fact that they, like, do everything in their power to prevent that is precisely why we have this fucking problem. They always have these fucking alarms because there's always a potential attack on them. Now, luckily, no one died. You know what I mean? Luckily, no one died. And I think it hit like a car, if I'm not mistaken, in the parking lot somewhere. So Israel struck the Houthis back. Okay, now as you guys know, the United States has been bombing the Houthis like crazy. But what ended up happening was the Israelis struck them back after this attack on their airport. This is how they did it.
Major long-range airstrike against Houthi. Let's take a...
And you know what? Real quick, for those that don't know who the Houthis are. All right, also known as Ansar Allah, right? They're known as a Houthi movement. Officially, the Ansar Allah is a Zaydi Shia Islamist political and military organization that emerged from Yemen in the 1990s. They're predominantly made up of Zaydi Shias, with their namesake leadership being drawn largely from the Houthi tribe. Now, they operate, guys, here in this area of Yemen. Every time I show you guys the Houthis, I always show you guys the left side of Yemen, aka the west. This is where they mostly control, and this is where the missiles are coming from when they are attacking Israel right around here. Can I zoom in on this bitch? Okay. Can I? Okay, I guess not.
Take a look at Israel's strategy in launching a major long-range airstrike against...
See, and I guarantee you, dumbass Dave Portnoy doesn't even know this shit. But he's over here like, doing all this bullshit, creating all these problems for this fucking kid. Probably don't even know what any of this shit is going on in the Middle East, man.
Houthi-controlled targets in Yemen, marking one of the most extensive Israeli military operations in the region in recent years. The strike came as a direct response to a ballistic missile attack by the Houthi that landed near Ben Gurion International Airport, disrupting commercial flights. In executing the operation, the Israeli Air Force deployed more than 20 fighter jets, including advanced F-35I Adir and F-15 aircraft. Since these are long distances, they need fuel and are accompanied by aerial refueling tankers and recon planes to support the mission. With the distance between Israel and Yemen spanning roughly 1,100 miles, which translates to about 1,800 kilometers, mid-air refueling was necessary, demonstrating the IAF's capability to conduct long-range, high-precision operations far from its borders. The mission had been carefully planned over several months, and in just one command, everything is almost, you can say, automated, which allowed the Israeli military to respond swiftly. Within just 24 hours of the missile attack with predetermined GPS codes. The airstrike was aimed at weakening the Houthi military infrastructure and logistical network.
And guys, keep in mind, the United States have been attacking the Houthis relentlessly as well. That's actually what got Mike Waltz fucked up, was because the whole Signal Gate situation was him exposing signal messages between him and everybody else in the cabinet, talking about these attacks preparing.
Among the primary targets were the ports of Hodeidah and Ras Isa, which play a key role in the importation of goods and are suspected of being entry points for alleged Iranian weaponry. Striking these locations was intended to disrupt the Houthi supply chains and diminish their economic capabilities. The Hesia's power plant near Sana'a was also targeted in an effort to cut off energy resources that are vital to the Houthi military operations. Houthi media and local reports indicated that the strikes extended beyond infrastructure to include Hodeidah port and urban districts such as Al-Salakana and Al-Hawak. These attacks reportedly caused damage to cargo handling facilities in several privately owned factories, contributing to a broader impact on the region's functionality. In total, Israeli fighter jets dropped around 50 precision-guided munitions on pre-selected targets, including Hodeidah port and a cement factory near the town of Bijil. While official sources did not specify the exact types of munitions used, precision-guided bombs are standard in operations of this nature. To help you understand Israel air power, you have to study the case where Israel strikes Iranian military targets. The Israeli military commonly uses this free-fall guided weapon, also known as bunker buster bombs, which relies on laser targeting and military-grade GPS. Out of the 80 bombs used, the IDF also deployed the Mark 82 weapon, the bunker buster, and the GBU-39, which were part of a purchase valued at around...
And these are the bombs that they used to kill Hassan Nasrallah up in Lebanon, guys, late last year. Same bombs, the bunker busters that can basically go deep underground and even knock out any type of military infrastructure underground. Now, they're not deep enough, though, to go destroy Iran's nuclear program, however.
$3 billion from the U.S. This is the bunker buster bomb. It has a late
$3 billion, bro. That's crazy. No fuck.
Weapon, the bunker buster, and the GBU-39, which were part of a purchase valued at around $3 billion from the U.S.
That's fucking wild.
This is the bunker buster bomb. It has a laser...
this nigga went on Pierce Morgan, bro, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look here real quick. He goes by the name The Punisher, and his website is called Get Punished. I shit you not, guys. Let me look this up real quick. We'll watch a little bit of it, and then we'll get back to the next witnesses.
Whatever works best for you.
All right, so that's him. This is him here. This guy.
Of this, it seems to. You like to be called the Punisher. Whatever works best for you. At the centre of this, it seems to me, is going to be the issue of consent. What is your view? I mean, do you believe this was all consensual? Are you 100% convinced that your son did not commit the shooting for which he's serving this sentence?
I'm absolutely convinced. I've always been convinced. There's been so much foul play. And I'm not just saying this is some sort of pissed off parent.
The evidence as of right now is showing that there are no bullet fragments that have been presented, which will let people assume that they were on that.
Exotic dancer Sheree Hayes, better known as the Punisher, testified at Diddy's trial.
Big fucking deal. And let's just kind of get into it. 2 Israeli embassy employees got killed, guys. Obviously tragic. Let's play this.
Secretary.
All right. Now let's watch Netanyahu condemn. And just so you guys know, basically, long story short, this guy Elias Rodriguez, far leftist, shot and killed 2 Israeli embassy employees in Washington D.C. in cold blood 2 days ago, 2 nights ago.
I'm Austin Westfall. This is a statement.
And obviously, you know, they're going to use this, guys, to launch a brigade on anti-Semitism legislation. Okay, Netanyahu obviously immediately made a statement right after. Let's see what he's got to say. Prime Minister of Israel.
We're hearing from Benjamin Netanyahu. He's reacting to what he calls the horrific killing of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in D.C. He says a brutal terrorist shot in cold blood a young, beautiful couple, Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. Yaron had just bought an engagement ring for Sarah. He says he was planning to give it to her.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Occupy the Gaza Strip, and basically they're trying to find a way to move 1 million Gazans out of the Gaza Strip into either Libya, Egypt, Jordan, you know, a couple of different Arab countries that they're talking about moving them to. And the nuclear deal, you know, might end up not happening because the United States wants Iran to give up their nuclear program completely, not even do civilian nuclear program for energy anymore. They want them to get rid of it completely, and that's a non-starter for Iran. So, and on top of that, the people that wrote this stuff to, you know, formulate the deal alongside with, you know, Steve Witkoff, they're members from AIPAC. So they don't want a deal with Iran. They just want to attack them. And what does Netanyahu do? Boom, he takes this murder, and now he's using this murder to say, look, they're killing Jews. They hate Jews, right? This isn't an anti-Israel thing. This is an anti-Jewish thing. So that's what he's doing here, even though, despite the fact that I know for sure the man was Christian, I don't know if the woman was Christian as well. They're saying that she is as well. But he's framing this as anti-Jewish, and this is what they need to do to be able to get this anti-Semitism stuff up. That's what they're doing, guys. They want to go to war.
All right, they just want to go to war, bro. Where's Ye? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to Ye. Probably delete this weak ass live. Fuck.
Is stolen. The track listing is insane. Yeah, Hitler canceled for age gap, for inappropriate age gap relationship. Wait, where the frick is the Wikipedia? Oh, here it is. Here. Look at the portions were published by Blunts and Adin Ross. That's the other thing I don't understand. Like, Adin Ross is Jewish, man. What is happening? What the?
Yeah, because clearly Kanye doesn't hate Jews, bro. He doesn't. Like, that's the thing that people don't fucking get, man. You don't hate Jews, bro. Niggas do it as a marketing, and niggas are so mad.
What's going on? This seems way more anti-Semitic than supporting Palestine. When's Kanye headed to jail? If you think that this is more anti-Semitic from the institutions that supposedly care about anti-Semitism, you are wrong. Okay? Let me tell you how wrong you are. No, the ADL does not mind like this because it's so obviously
no, the ADL minds a lot about this shit. Are you fucking retarded? Bro. Nigga. What is this?
What is Wall Street buzzing about? Still no word from Adidas about Kanye West, but the pressure is rising. The Anti-Defamation League today calling on Adidas to cut ties with Ye in a new letter. The rapper,
yeah, what the fuck is that, Hassan?
And designer has made several degrading remarks, dangerous remarks.
Yo, shout out to fucking Three Diglets, man. Bro is literally fucking top fucking dog in this shit. Texas 321, thank you for the sub. I'll read some of these super chats. Top Shay, 20 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Top Shay. Three fucking Diglets contributed 150, 100, 150.